Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookdale Farm. Well, I know that there's been an awful lot of machinery restoration on this channel recently between the Sunshine Harvester and the Titan D tractor. And I just thought I would quickly show you what's going on at the farm at the moment. It's our quieter time on the farm, but there's still all the normal sort of farm jobs to be doing. And if there's anything particularly you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. I know not all of you are interested in the machinery restoration, so I always try and put a bit of a variety on this channel. At the moment, I'm down feeding the cattle. We've got a lot of grass here. We've had a reasonable amount of rain, which has been great, but particularly the mums that are producing milk, we give them a little bit of grain just to substitute. They don't get this every day, they get it a couple of times a week. We've got 3 new calves which are hiding around over here. We've got another calf that's due quite soon, and we've also just sent one off to the butcher. So we'll be picking up the meat from him on Friday, which will be really nice. He was a really nice looking steer, so hopefully he'll taste good. In the meantime, the rest of them are just munching away happily. How you going, hey? Hey, Testy Bess. Hey, Moo Moo. This is Moo Moo, our bull. He was named by the 4-year-old next door. He's a bottle-fed bull, and he's drought master. The grass in our campsite has been growing fast, so we've been busy trying to keep that looking neat and tidy. We've had a reasonable amount of rain and now some beautiful sunny weather, so it's lovely to have the grass growing so quickly now. The wheat is not looking too bad in this paddock. It's suddenly all come up to head, which is great. It always surprises me because there's no heads and then suddenly they're all there. So this paddock's looking pretty good and it's a pretty clean crop. There's not too many weeds if we look down the lines here. This is the first paddock that went in. The other paddock doesn't look anywhere near as good. This paddock is the wheat that went in second, and it has really struggled this year. The soil in this paddock is not as good, but also the first paddock to go in went in well and then had a bit of rain on it that night. The rain washed down into the furrows and made the soil in the bottom of the furrows moist so that the wheat could germinate. This paddock went in 5 to 10 days later, and because it was such a dry year, the soil in the bottom of the furrow was still dry as a bone. So when I was planting this, there was dust coming up. The soil was just that dry, and we didn't get any rain for weeks after this went in, even though this went in June, which is very, very late. and so this has really struggled. This didn't come up for probably more than a month after that first paddock actually germinated and was growing. And you can see over there, there's bare patches where you can still see some of the stubble coming through. There's bare patches all the way through this where it just didn't germinate for whatever reason. You know, really thin patches. Nice thick patch there, nothing here. Thick patch there coming up, same cedar line, nothing here, except for a bit of radish and a little bit of ryegrass. So this crop, it's improving, but it's not looking anywhere near as good as the bit in the front paddock. Now we've got another big bare patch here for some reason. There's a little bit of stubble here. This is where I turned the harvest around last year. You can see the lines where I was seeding, nothing, and then looking good. Now 2 years ago, I think it was two or 3 years ago, we put out a bundle of chicken manure in these two paddocks, and this is where the pile of chicken manure was. And this is the best bit of crop that I have anywhere. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes. You can see the line there where the pile ended, and it's gone back to just sort of normal looking crop. Just here on the edge of the paddock, this is a spot where the spreader blocked up when I was spreading the chicken manure. And I dug a heap out of the spinners and stuff like that, and it just got thrown on the ground here. And it has made a phenomenal difference to the fertility of the soil here. So we'll definitely be looking at putting out some chicken manure again in the future when we are able to do it. This is one of our oat paddocks. Now I have not sprayed this one for radish at all, but it is pretty clean. There is the odd plant through it. There's a couple down there. There's a couple right down the bottom there. So I spend a bit of time walking through these paddocks, just pulling out the random small bits of radish as I can see them. And then we get a couple of random spots like this here. We've got a band here and a band just over there. These are pretty close to the edge of the paddock. Something will have happened here probably 10 years ago that's allowed this radish to take off. And if you're not spraying your paddocks, it's really important to get all of this out, or your whole paddock ends up looking like this fairly quickly. I don't run straw spreaders on the harvester because I believe that all they do is spread the weed seed out as far and wide across your paddock as quickly as they can. So when I do the harvest, this will get dumped in a single pile behind the harvester, which does make it a little bit easier to deal with. Also, if I've got bad patches like this, I will opt to cut them for hay. Now radish in hay is not a good thing because it doesn't dry out, so you have to wait longer before you bale your hay, and with the rain that can sometimes be difficult, so the radish stems can make your bales go mouldy if you've got too much radish in it. But if you can cut it before the seed forms, it's a good way to deal with all sorts of weeds. You do need to cut the radish before the seed forms, because once it gets hard seed on it and the cattle eat it, it will go straight through the cows, and wherever they poo, you get radish coming up. So whilst stock and grazing is a great way to deal with some of the radish problem, they can also be part of spreading the radish problem. Unfortunately, the Land Cruiser cracked a piston the other day and let me down, and by the time we'd stripped down the engine and added up everything that needed to be done on it, it was cheaper to buy a new ute. So we've now got a D-Max that we're running around in. This is actually a lot more comfortable than the Land Cruiser and uses about half the amount of fuel as the old Land Cruiser did. So this has been, although it's been an expensive upgrade, it's also been a very good upgrade. Grain sales are keeping me busy at the moment too. Usually by this time, or at this time of year, they have backed off a fair way, but it just hasn't slowed down this year, which is good in some ways, and but it certainly keeps me running to try and get it all delivered to everybody. So we've got 1.5 tons to go out to customers tomorrow, and if I could have fitted another 3/4 of a ton on, that would have been good too. So today is also the Toodyay Farmers Market. It's not that busy yet, but it's a lovely day and I'm sure it will get more busy. So I'm here helping Jess out with her stall where she is selling her fabrics and various things that she has made with her fabrics, the shirts she buys, and she adds the other bits onto them. This is fabric, mostly fabric, well, these bits of fabric that she has designed, and the other bits are from Spotlight, just as filler panels. She's also got her cards and artwork for sale. And she's got a solo exhibition coming up very soon. So these are the details for her solo exhibition, which is going to be in the Northam Visitor Centre, which is great. And these are the artworks that she is currently working on, some of them that are going in her exhibition, along with some of her digital artworks on her iPad. Anyway, I had better get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing, helping her out. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!